When you eat, you put the fork into food. We're not talking about just taking in calories. We're talking about dining, okay, as opposed to eating. Eating a sandwich, you could eat it on a subway car, right? But when you're actually trying to taste the food, experience the food, savor the food or the wine, don't you need to kind of have a cerebral reaction as well as just a gustatorial reaction?
What?
That's all.
Sorry.
All right, thanks for the call. I already had too many big words. Sorry, cerebral, gustatory. This is the problem. It's like opera. In other words, you go too high and you lose the audience. You go too low and you're Michael Jackson with the glove and the casket. That's all. Those who do not know their history are condemned to repeat it. Which class are you in? Those who know their history or those who do not know their history? I am trying to instruct America before it is too late. I am playing a soundbite from our naive Fabian socialist president, and I'm giving him, by the way, the most positive view. I don't accept that he's a traitor. I don't accept that he's a sellout. I don't go for that he's a stealthist. I believe I'm going to give him the credit for the fact that he's a naive man from a university background. The skids have been greased for him his entire life. The man has never truly worked for anything in his life. Everything was handed to him. And here is a man who flies off on a regular basis, giving away America's dignity and now giving away America's nuclear superiority to Russia at a time that North Korea is launching weapons, at a time when Iran wants a nuclear weapon, at a time when nukes could be going loose in Pakistan. So I play for you Obama saying he just came back and signed a joint understanding to cut delivery systems with Mr. Putin. We want peace. Then I play for you Neville Chamberlain back in the 1930s, 39, I believe, coming back with a similar statement saying Herr Hitler and he have come to an agreement that we'll never go to war again. Hitler then used the weakness of Chamberlain to go and invade the next nation in the list. Do you have any idea what I am telling you? When in the world are you going to wake up to what is going on right in front of your eyes? 1-800-449-8255. Jim in New York, go ahead. You're up on the Savage Nation.
Good evening, Dr. Savage. I would like to know if you think since President Obama is overstating his powers in the executive branch, doing the functions of the congressional part of the government, could litigation be brought against him?
By who? Who's going to bring the litigation?
The citizens of the country into the judicial branch.
Well, if there was a two-party system instead of a one-party system, this would be fought in Congress. But since we do not have a Republican Party to stand up for America, tell me what we do now.
People like you, me, and many of us.
Yeah, I have my own problems, and the government knows that. They understand we are weak. They understand we have no organization. They understand they've crushed the Republicans, who are the biggest sellouts in history. They understand all of that, and that's why a Fabian socialist like Barack Obama can go away and give away America's nuclear defenses in Moscow, pretending that it's for world peace. I don't have an answer for you right now. I'm waiting to hear from one senator who says, no, this will not happen over my dead body. We're not permitting the president to cut our nuclear arsenal by 1/3. This is not a decision that can be made unilaterally. It must go through proper channels. And we have not had the discussion, yes. The American people need to discuss it. That's right. The idiot American people who worshiped at Michael Jackson's gold coffin need to discuss this before we can do it. We're not letting this dictatorship go forward. Have you heard one senator say that? You haven't. So there we are. That's the story. 1-800-449-8255, San Francisco, New York, Maine, Florida. I would say I'll even take calls from the land of the where the clowns are now running the state. That would be Al Frankenstein's state. Where are the Republicans? Where have they gone? Where have all the good Republicans gone? What happened to the two-party system? How can you not understand we're living in a dictatorship when you have the president, the Senate, and the House all owned by one party? You have a dictatorship, especially when the other party has become so supine and invisible. They're not there. They're so out of touch with reality, they don't even know that the American people don't like Obama. The Republicans are so out of touch with reality, they don't even know that they could come back to power in a moment's notice if they stood up and showed a spine.
Michael Savage. Afternoons 3 to 7 on Talk 910 KNEW and online at 910KNEW.com.
Coming up next, from San Fran Freak Show, The Savage Nation, from Talk 910 KNEW.
On the air, online, and on the go, this is Talk 910 KNEW.
Michael Savage Show contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
Now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation. Here is Michael Savage.
There is a restaurant in this town that I'm going to where a guy sings on a, what do they call those Moog synthesizers? No, that's from the 70s. What do they call it when he sings in a karaoke machine? Now, the food is quite good. It's an Italian restaurant. I made the mistake of the last time I went down there of eating in this place. I couldn't believe it. He sings on a karaoke machine, a big Italian guy with a 20-inch neck with tattoos. He's about 60 years old. I don't know how he wound up in this restaurant. Turn this off. They can't hear me and listen. I go in there. The food was very good, but this guy did not stop singing on the karaoke machine. Every Italian favorite known to the lower masses, this guy knew. It was plugged into the machine. And the women, the middle-aged women with too much perfume at other tables, apparently they were swooning over this guy. He must be the owner or the owner's brother-in-law, whatever. He did not stop for 2 hours. You could not digest a clam. You couldn't drink clam juice without gagging on it for the loudness. The loudness wasn't bad enough karaoke while you're eating. I have no idea what it. But on top of it all, at a volume that would make Michael Jackson's legs jump in a grave. You know what I'm saying? So I can't go back there. So I'm stuck. I am stuck. There's not one good Chinese joint in the entire state of Florida. Not one. You don't know what you're eating, what kind of meat it is. You know, it's white meat. It could be alligator. You don't know what you're eating down. A possum. How do you know what you're eating in Florida? When they say Chinese and it's chicken, you don't know what you're getting in Florida. No such thing as Chinese food in Florida. Let's start with that. You want Chinese food, San Francisco, I know where to go. Yeah, I know where to go. I used to know where to go, but lately you can't get Chinese food in Florida. Forget about it. It doesn't exist. There is good Italian food in Florida because there's a lot of Italian Americans from New Jersey who understand food, who live down there, and they wouldn't take crap from the owner like they do in California, where they're afraid of everybody. The only people they're not afraid of here are patriots. Everyone else they're afraid of. Whatever they give them, they don't even know what they're eating, but they're sophisticated because they swirl the wine. Whenever you see two people swirling wine, you know that they're swine.
Savage.
Find a joint understanding for a follow-on treaty to the START agreement that will reduce our nuclear warheads and delivery systems by up to a third from our current treaty limitations.
Okay, let's stop right there. Obama is a constitutional lawyer. What he is citing is a clever way to get around the U.S. Constitution. He just said we have signed a follow-on treaty of the START agreement. He will argue that the president does not have to get the two-thirds of the senators present to concur with cutting our nuclear arsenal. Instead, this president of ours will say he does not need anyone's authority. He's just simply amending an existing treaty and therefore drop dead. If you don't like it, you can leave the country. But he'll never say that because he plays Mr. Nice Guy. Most dictators play the nice guy. Even while they're doing terrible things, they never show it. This one is the most clever at not showing any of the dark side, so to speak, that is so apparent to anyone with a brain. The Rasmussen poll, and Obama approval rating has slipped to a -5 or a -3. It's plummeting. It is dropping. It is falling. It is falling, and it is falling fast. From the time this man first took office, when he fooled most of you into thinking that he was something he was not, he had an approval rating and a disapproval rating that was a 44-16. It is now 32-37. Now you say, what does this mean? I can't follow any of this. Well, it's very easy to follow. His approval ratings have been falling while his disapproval ratings have been climbing. And right now the differential is a -5. In other words, he has very high disapproval ratings in this country. I can guarantee you, if we had a legitimate media that was not owned by the Obama administration, that had screaming headlines saying Obama cuts nuclear arsenal, gives up our strategic advantage to Russia, which is what you would have gotten from a Hearst newspaper when it was still a Hearst newspaper, before it was taken over by a bunch of left-wing lunatics. When you still had newspapers that screamed the truth, said it like it was. The way they read was the way I sound. Newspapers in America once read the way this show sounds to you. I don't make any of this up. After all, I'm not making up headlines. I am delivering headlines that are based upon reality. We still had newspapers that in every box where the liberals who do not buy newspapers but read them for free